it's all about resilience, you know, that's about letting life's experiences help you grow and grow in such a way that you don't close off your heart and start to make choices that send you into a negative or a hurtful place, that instead, over time, when we lean into pain and hurt and difficulty, we can grow into better people. And I almost didn't have that chance, because one of the most difficult experiences I went through was the death of my brother. It followed years after the death of my parents, but I hadn't actually healed from my parents' loss. I was bringing up my brother. I brought him up from the age of 13 through to 20, and he died just before his 21st birthday in a car accident. He died very suddenly. And I was working in London at the time. I had a beautiful penthouse apartment, and I worked for a big law firm. I loved the work that I did, and life had picked up, and he'd gone to university and made friends, and he was living his own life. And yeah, he died in the middle of the night in a car accident, travelling with a friend who sadly died too. And because I was away in London, the police came to my home in the middle of the night, and my then boyfriend, now husband, Richard, opened the door to the police and had the unfortunate, horrendous task of then travelling to London to come and tell me that that's what happened. I'm sure that was the hardest thing he's ever had to do. And I opened the door to him in the morning, and he wasn't meant to be there. I wasn't expecting him, so I knew immediately that something had happened, and he got hold of my arms and he looked into my eyes and he just said the words, "Brace yourself," which I've never forgotten. Never forgot what he looked like in that moment and what it felt like to receive those words, because I knew somehow that whatever he was going to tell me was something it would be really difficult to recover from. And he said, "Brace yourself," and then he told me, and I couldn't take the words in, and I couldn't compute them, I don't think. And later that day, or I lost track of time, but my penthouse apartment had a big balcony overlooking London in all its greatness, and I turned to Richard and I said, "You're just going to have to not take your eyes off me today. You're going to have to hold me really, really tight, because all I want to do is jump off that balcony. I can't stand the pain inside of myself. I can't stand the way this feels. I can't see how I'm going to get through days and days and days of waking up knowing that I have to deal with this again. Please help me not to jump off that balcony." And you know, I kind of think, would I have done it? Would I have chosen to jump? I was lucky. I was lucky to have a man who loved me and has been by my side ever since, for good and for bad. And that's what makes the difference, isn't it? Being connected to people who help us to make better choices. If I'd have made that choice, then I wouldn't have gone on to do so many things with my life, but also created two beautiful children who have now got lives in the world, and hopefully to help lots of other people to make different choices and better choices, and the ripple effect of helping other people. That's the work that I do. So yeah, that's the choice that I never made, that I'm glad I didn't make.